Hello and welcome back to another Marvel Champions live stream. Happy Monday. Hey, Paladin of Redemption. How are you doing? Welcome. Today we are continuing on for the Hero Spotlight for Rocket Raccoon. So we played a aggression and a leadership game last week. Today we're going to finish it off with a justice and a protection game. I'm really excited for the protection game. We have a kind of a Rocket Repurpose build, which is a card that was printed since the last time I played Rocket. And so Repurpose allows you to discard text. Rocket likes a lot of text, and so I think there's going to be a lot of really cool synergy there that I'm excited to try out. I need to fix my computer. Perfect. So I think we're going to start out with the justice build just because I think I'm most excited for the protection, and I typically like to leave what I am most excited for until the end, which typically means we're playing protection last on a lot of these heroes. But yeah, so excellent. So Rocket likes, he has all of his tech, he likes to be an alter ego, but he also has a really strong thwart stat. And so Justice kind of provides a couple of different avenues that we could build for Rocket. We could build kind of a confused build to let him come down to alter ego and trigger his tinkering ability, discarding some of those texts for more card draw. Or we can lean into his high thwart stat. So he has a 2 thwart. He can get up to a three thwart with thruster boots, and then with his I've got a plan, he can thwart for 3, ready, thwart for 5. Thwart for 4 after that. If you have a heroic intuition, it becomes 5. So he has a significant amount of thwarting potential. And so he likes to draw cards. And so I'm thinking that it's going to be a little bit more fun to lean into a one way or another build with Rocket. So what we're going to be doing is using his thwart to his advantage. And so we can use one way or another to pull out a side scheme. Hey, Mozilla, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Use that one way or another to pull out side schemes, kill off those side schemes, get the benefit for removing the side schemes, but also the 3 card draw for using one way or another. If we do that, then we're able to get his tech stuff onto the table, and so rocket launchers, particle cannons, his pistols, which are all going to help with his damage. And so we can offset the damage. We can supplement his thwarting with his own kit with damage. And so it's may not get as much of the overkill. So on his rocket side, he's got the murder do ability. If you deal excess damage, you get to draw a card. We will try and hit that whenever it is possible, but it is not something that we're going to get card draw elsewhere. And so it's a nice to have, but we've kind of focused on that for the last couple of builds. And so let's see if we can use his thwart stat and kind of lean into that for the justice. I am going to, so a couple of the basic cards that we were running, I think we always want to be running Ingenuity. Rocket is a genius on his alter ego side, so Ingenuity can be played. Nice little resource generator for us there. And then we are going to be running a Flora and Fauna with the Groot allies. So this is per Brant from Step Into the Portal's recommendation. We have this combo, and so typically I'm not running team up cards in a solo deck just because you do have to have the ally out on the table. There's a lot of initial costs in order to pull off the team up cards, especially in a solo play. But Brant said that he really liked this combo, leaving Groot out there. Groot has the ability where he can pretty much defend pretty consistently against a lot of these minions without healing, and then just leave him on the table. Flora and Fauna, which when we trigger it, it reads that we can place 2 charge counters on a rocket upgrade and then ready that upgrade. And so now our particle cannon, we get some more charge counters, and we can do some more damage. So he is the rocket expert. So let's see how it works. We also have a couple of these gray allies that we've been using. I really like Gamora here. Drax also really helps offset a lot of that damage that we are going to be lacking in the yellow aspect. Ironheart is just always a card that's great to include in any deck, pretty much any deck. So we'll hang on to these. We'll keep Ironheart within arm's reach to see if we want to bring her back. But let's look at the key components for a one way or another build. First up, we need one way or another. Let's grab that. One way or another allows us to search search the deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, and draw 3 cards. So we want to be able to defeat those side schemes, and we can defeat those side schemes using Rocket's ability or a couple of the clear the area. I think we probably will include a clear the area, even though we probably want to be leaning into using his basic activation for thwarting. Clear the area is a 1-cost card, remove 2 threat. If you remove the last threat, you get to draw a card, so it kind of pays for itself. It turns into a 1 effective cost for 2 threat removal. It's a good card. So let's grab 2 of those, and then we'll look at our upgrades before we look for any more thwart events. But just two of those is always welcome in a one way or another solo build. Skilled Investigator, another really good upgrade. So play under any player's control whenever you defeat a side scheme. Yeah, it's hard not to include clear the area. That's so right, Mozilla. Yeah, it's a very, very solid card. Skilled Investigator, whenever you defeat a side scheme, you can exhaust Skilled Investigator to draw a card. More card draw. I'm liking it. We've got... what is the card I'm looking for? It's a 0-cost card. I can't think of it right now. It is Chance Encounter. Chance Encounter is a card that I really like. It's a 0-cost upgrade that you attach to a side scheme. When the attached side scheme is defeated, search your deck and discard pile for an ally and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. This is going to allow us to get probably Groot out earlier than we needed, or we could initially. And so getting Groot out so that we can trigger our Flora and Fauna upgrades, which is going to lead into our damage. But Chance Encounter is just a really nice way to get whatever ally you need. Okay, so speaking of allies, we are sitting at just 3 of them right now. And all of these, we've got a defensive ally, an offensive ally. And then Gamora is a little bit of a flex, but she's probably going to be in this deck using her attack stat. That's only 3, so let's see if we can find some more. I do really like Arrows. Arrows is a 2-cost ally for 2. Always good. Blindfold is hard not to include. If we wanted to kind of keep it on theme, we could keep it with some of these Guardians, but not necessarily. Wraith is good. We do have a couple of boost effects. The issue with Wraith being out here is that we may not have the ally slots, because a lot of these, like Groot is going to be permanently taking up an ally slot. Drax is not permanently, but he is going to probably be out there for a while. Gamora hangs out for a while. And so I'm thinking that Wraith, even though we do have some boost effects in the Mutagen formula and counter set that we would rather not have trigger, Wraith could be harder to put in. It's so hard not to include Blindfold. Let's go Arrows. We'll probably go Arrows. We'll probably grab a Blindfold just because she's so good. Dazzler could help with that Confuse. I think we will go with Dazzler is really solid. Being able to confuse, especially with Rocket, to roll down and take advantage of the tinkering ability. I do want to do that. Also, just so I am reiterating, what we're doing is we're playing a standard green, our Mutagen formula, where we're playing stage 1 and 2, but we're also including the expert cards. So standard as in stage 1 and stage 2, just because expert Mutagen formula can be absolutely brutal. And so I think I like this. I like this level of difficulty in order to kind of show off some of these heroes. Mutagen formula throws a lot at you, and so you do have to kind of focus on multiple different aspects of the game whenever you're playing Mutagen formula, and so I think it's a really good deck tester in that sense. Let's go with a Professor X. I think I'm leaning Professor X. When Professor X enters play, we can confuse an enemy or confuse the villain. That's going to be Green Goblin. And then also helps with the 3 thwart, and also is a blocker because he will go away at the end of the round. So we need to use him. We could go Overwatch. Overwatch at this point may be a little bit too much threat removal. Overwatch attached to a scheme when any threat is removed from this scheme, remove it from a different scheme as well, and so it kind of doubles up. But I don't know if we actually need that much. Think Fast is actually really good. I forgot that Think Fast exists because it is Guardian Lock. So take 1 damage, confuse the villain. Let's go with let's do that. Let's grab 2 Think Fast. Now this is not necessarily a confuse lock build. It is a Rocket does like to roll down, and if we're focusing a lot of our thwarting on side schemes, we want to confuse and protect that main scheme as much as we can. So we got 2 Think Fast. Let's see what that puts us at card count wise. Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 7. Quake for minions, I really like that. Quake allows us, whenever a minion schemes, to deal 2 damage to that minion. I like that, especially in Mutagen when we do have a ton of minions out there. And then I just completely forgot what I said. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10. And 2, 4, 6, 8. Let me take a look at Mutagen's deck. We got 2, 1, probably 3 to 4. I'm looking at amount of threat on each side scheme. Probably 3 or 4. 1. Okay, so with that low of threat, I'm not going to run a Heroic Intuition just because we can get up to that 3 thwart stat with Rocket, which does look to be sufficient. So we can not use the Ooh, I want to try Bishop actually. We can not use his or we don't need to bump it up to 4. I want to try Bishop because Bishop sounds fun. So response: after an enemy attacks you, place 1 energy counter here, Bishop, and then we can, when Bishop attacks, remove each energy counter from him. For each energy discarded this way, he gets +2 attack for this attack to a maximum of 6 attack. So we can sit him out there. Now we may have an issue with ally limits, but I really haven't used Bishop all that much, and he is a 2 thwart, so we could get an activation, or we could attack and then block with him. But with all of the minions that are going to be coming out with Mutagen, it's going to be nice to have Bishop in there to take. I think we can charge him pretty quickly. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. So we've done with that, or we're kind of, let's put allies on the back burner now. Command center now, because we want to kind of be defeating the side schemes because we're running that skilled investigator. That being said, making an entrance is going to be really good for Rocket just because of his lower health pool. So whenever your hero makes a basic thwart, you get +2. If after that thwart ends, if your hero removed all the threat from his scheme this way, deal 2 damage to heal 2 damage, not deal 2 damage to your hero. So that's going to be 20. Let's grab 2 more of those making an entrance. Rocket's health is precious. Speaking of precious health, let's increase it with an endurance. I always like giving Rocket more health. And we could go with a hand cannon. Or, I'm sorry, not a hand cannon, a sonic rifle. Sonic rifle is kind of the tech that comes in the yellow aspect. That being said, I'm not 100% sure it's needed because we have so many techs to tinker already. Ooh, under surveillance is always great. It protects us a little bit. Under surveillance in a single player game is a very solid card. We got one more card. Let's look at our cost real quick. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that cost 2 or more in yellow. I'm thinking about power ofs at this point. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that cost 2 or more in gray, meaning that we are pretty low on our cost curve. So we don't really need the power ofs, especially with how much draw Rocket's going to have. I'm not 100% sure we're going to need it. That being said, we do have Ingenuity as a resource generator. We have a lot of ways to generate resources in this deck, but I think it may be nice. I think it could be fun to run a Avengers Mansion here. That gives us that last little bit of card draw. If we can pay for it early, it's going to be a nice boost to our entire hand size for the rest of the game. I like Avengers Mansion there. Let me just double check. There's 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That is 25 cards, which will probably leave it right there. Trying to think if there's anything else that we need. B-Cop could be interesting, just with all the minions. Have it take out a monster or something like that. Good morning. Stealth Strike in this one. Stealth Strike, is that the 4 damage, remove 2 threat from a scheme? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to need that much threat mitigation. We've already got a pretty good amount of threat reduction with like just his base stat. And then Bishop's got some. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay with I think we're going to be okay without Stealth Strike. The 4 damage to an enemy, we have a lot of damage. In a multiplayer game, I would definitely look at running a Stealth Strike more, especially against Mutagen formula. I'm just not 100% sure that it's going to be needed. The other thing that I was thinking is maybe a... No, actually, never mind. Let me finish the statement. I was thinking of including a side holster to increase the number of restricted cards that I can have. And so up to 3 restricted cards, just because he has so many. We'll probably think about that more in the protection game, because in the justice game, we're going to be able to flip down and tinker them more frequently, just because we have the tools to take care of threat. And so that may be something that we think about in our next game. I do need a mod set. If anyone has a recommendation for a mod set, let me know. If not, we will choose one randomly after I get all of this shuffled up. Everyone gets a Goblin Thrall. Says a win defeated. And 2. Okay. How is everyone doing? Did everyone have a good weekend? I went to a wedding this weekend. It was lovely. Some friends from college got married. Good time. I was up in Chicago area, which there's a lot of traffic up there, and that was... I feel like a grumpy person now when I'm complaining about traffic, but we drove up in the middle of storms and traffic, and it was just, ugh, gross. Okay, so we got that. Let's pick a random. We could go Children of Thanos. I like Children of Thanos. I think Children of Thanos could be a nice compliment, and it has some pretty disgusting minions in here, and so that's gonna help make it a little bit tougher. So let's do that. Also adds in 2 side schemes, which is kind of playing into our deck build of one way or another, so we can pull out those side schemes. But I think, yeah, whenever they're defeated, I think you have to deal yourself a face down encounter card. So it's a late surge type situation, but also gives us more minions to try and overkill. We'll see if we ever actually get there, but I am excited to see just how many cards this this thing can draw. So Green Goblin has a forced response that says, after Green Goblin attacks and damages you, place 1 threat on the scheme. And so if we chump block, because is considered my identity card, so if we chump block, we're good. Okay, so 6 cards. So we got Rocket Launcher. So 2 damage to every enemy. We got Think Fast, we got Ingenuity turn 1. We got Thruster Boots turn 1. We got Clear the Area turn 1, and we got I Got a Plan. So this is great. Ingenuity is going to be excellent. We can play it while we're down here. Clear the Area is going to be able to draw us a card here. Thruster Boots is going to give us +1 thwart. And Aerial, also, we probably could have thought about, like, the Yaw and Roll. That's what it's called. Yaw and Roll, where you're able to remove threat. Maybe a little bit too much. Or too much threat removal. Okay, so we don't need I Got a Plan. Let's mulligan Think Fast. It would be nice to get in or get a one way or another. Rocket Launcher could be interesting. We'll hang on to Rocket Launcher if we. Oh, I don't have doubles in here. Hold on. Let me think about that real quick. We'll mulligan. We'll mulligan everything, but even though that was a fairly good start, why do I always forget doubles? That's so funny. What do we want to cut for doubles? Let's go with Do we just run 43 cards? Is that insane? That would be insane, right? Probably don't need Bishop, honestly. No, Bishop sounds fun. Bishop is fun. We do have a lot of card draw. Maybe toss Mansion. Let's toss a Mansion. We're down to 42 cards. Let's toss one of the Making an Entrances. We're down to 41 card. 43 is a prime number and therefore ideal. Is there reasoning behind that? Or just it is ideal because it's ideal? Is 41 a prime number? 42 is 7, 6. 3 is 39. Yeah, I think 41 is a prime number as well, right? Let's run at 41. I don't want to try and figure out another one. 41 is also prime. Okay, sweet. So we still hit the ideal prime number requirements of 41 cards. And we are good. So the wedding that I went to this weekend, it was on Sunday. The theme was 369 Damn Your Prime, which is a play on the song, the 369 to the window to the wall song. But it was 369 Your Prime because it was on May 13th, 2023. So 5, 13, 23 are the 3rd, 6th, and 9th prime number. And so that's what they were playing off of. I was like, that is super clever. Okay. Let's look at this. We got Making an Entrance, we got Think Fast, we got Schadenfreude, we got One Way or Another, we got Think Fast, and we got Salvage. I do not like this opening hand. This is way worse than what our previous one was. We're definitely going to keep One Way or Another. We'll definitely keep Salvage. Think Fast. We could confuse Goblin, which is nice. Well, no, we're just going to mulligan. We're going to mulligan all of these. All 4 of these. Hopefully grab into... Okay, a pistol is nice. Another One Way or Another is a sad pull. And energy is too many resources. And I've Got a Plan is just not good. Okay, well, actually, I've Got a Plan could work pretty well with what Rocket is doing. if we're playing one way or another. So we can pull out the side scheme, we can thwart both of the side and the main, but we have a lot of resources. Hopefully we draw into something pretty good with the one way or another. We could, and we have the option of dropping the pistol and tinkering the pistol. And so this is something that's kind of interesting. 2 effective resources, 1 cost plus the card itself. To put it down, we can tinker it turn 1 to draw 2 cards. It's another mulligan. That being said, I kind of want the pistol out here just to have the damage. So we'll tinker later. Let's go ahead and flip up to Rocket. Let's go ahead and play one way or another. So we're going to search the encounter deck. Going to 2-hand the Mutant Genesis campaign with Gambit and Rogue. What would you recommend best aspects for each? Gambit loves aggression. Gambit and multiple target aggression attacks with his throw to card ability. Very awesome. Rogue probably is going to like leadership there, and you can kind of mess around and go with all the traits from everybody and steal those traits and get ingenuity and Sorcerer Supreme and all those fun traits out. That could be a fun combo, the aggression leadership. Rogue also could just shore up with the justice. But I think I would go with leadership for Rogue and aggression for Gambit. Okay, we're going to pull out Goblin Nation. So each Goblin enemy, including Green Goblin, gets +1 attack. We know we're about to take care of it, so I'd rather control that fate of when it comes out. This is going to come out with 2 threats. We get to draw 3 cards. Jeez. 1, 2. Oh, come on. Okay, Professor X, I guess. Look, we have way too many. Oh, you know what we should have done? Okay, this is what we should have done. We should have dropped Rocket's pistol, tinkered Rocket's pistol, pulled Rocket's pistol back with salvage, and then drawn into Rocket's pistol. Hey, thank you for the subscription, Paladin. I appreciate it. That would have been smart, but here we are. Okay, we have way too many resources in our hand. So let's we don't have any tech. So salvage is not going to help us too much. We don't really have to play I've got a plan, because now we have, I guess we can still. Let's go Strength, Flora, and Fauna to play Professor X. We're going to confuse Green Goblin. We have a blocker now. Professor will thwart 3 off of Goblin Nation. We'll take 1 consequential damage when he does that. We'll hang on to one way or another. We'll probably hang on to I've got a plan. Let's use an energy for a Rocket's pistol. And I mean, honestly, this is not a great. This is not great for us. We just have a pretty tough first turn. We could go ahead and get rid of this Goblin Thrall. I've got a plan. Might as well use the resources. So let's go ahead and thwart 2 here. And that cleans up our main. We'll play I've got a plan. So we get to, after we make a basic thwart, we get to ready Rocket. He gets +1 thwart for the entire rest of the round. We don't have any text to place on the top of our... Yeah, we don't have any text. So we don't get to trigger that. We'll hang on to one way or another. Rocket's pistol will deal 2. And then we'll just swing for the 3rd to get rid of the Goblin Thrall. We don't get the Murdered You. But we also don't have a Thrall anymore. So let's stand up one way or another. Reload. Okay. Making an entrance. Bishop. And Skilled Investigator. Sweet. Okay. So Skilled Investigator plus a one way or another. I'm happy with that. Start. We'll place 1 here. We'll have Professor X block Green Goblin's attack. It's going to be 2 + 1. Professor X dies. Sorry, Josh. No, Professor X goes away. Our encounter card is Goblin Soldier. When defeated, deal 1 damage to the engaged player. Okay. Now it is our turn. Let's go ahead and play a Skilled Investigator. We'll play a one way or another. This would have a 4. Actually, you know what? We could probably take this because we do have a making an entrance. We don't have any Nah, let's see if we can actually find one that is not... doesn't require us to play making an entrance. That has the win defeated. Also looking for one that wouldn't be too bad if we just beat it. Okay, let's go here. This is gonna have 4 on it. So we can defeat it with a making an entrance, but it also doesn't have a bad win defeated effect. And so we can take it out. Also, we're not going to get flooded with this when we have like a ton of goblins engaged with us. Okay, so that's going to be, we get to draw 3 cards. Got battery pack, 1. Genius, 2. And so we have gotten so many resources. All of our resources, I think, have passed now. Just crazy. Okay. We're going to go Genius in a battery pack to play Bishop. We're going to play Salvage and Making an Entrance together, which is going to put battery pack on top of our deck. And we're going to thwart for 4 here. Skilled Investigator is going to ready to draw us battery pack. And then we're going to play battery pack. Comes with 2 charge counters. We can exhaust battery pack to move a charge counter here to one of our upgrades. This is also done. I think probably at this point we will flip down because, yeah, we're gonna deal 2 damage here. Goblin's gonna scheme on us, which is fine, but Green Goblin is exhausted. We'll go ahead and move a charge from battery pack over to Rocket's pistol, and we'll flip down. We'll tinker the battery pack next turn, so we can move a charge. Hopefully we'll draw into like a particle cannon. Move a charge, tinker the battery pack, and just have a bigger hand size. Bishop, we're not going to thwart or attack with right now. Let's charge him up a little bit. So let's stand up. Let's see what we got. We got Ingenuity. Good pull. Clear the area. I've got a plan. Clear the area. One way or another. 2, 4, 5. And arrows. Alrighty. So we're going to place 1 here. Goblin is confused. Goblin Soldier is going to scheme for 1. And then we've got... Did I say? Yeah. All of our hit points are good. No one's just been hurt yet. Encounter card is a Tribute. When defeated, deal the player who defeated the scheme a face-down encounter card. That comes with 2. And a Crisis, meaning that we cannot remove threat from the main scheme. Alrighty. So, our turn. We're going to go ahead and battery pack to move this over here. Because this is not a hero action, we will tinker the battery pack. So the charge counters, they don't get discarded when they are depleted. And so it can sit there with an empty. We'll use his ability to tinker to draw 2. We got a battery. Oh, well, there we go. Battery pack and a Quake. Okay. No, I'm not. You know what? I was going to say I'm a little hesitant in drawing a card or playing one way or another right now, but I'm really not because we have a couple one way or another's. We actually have I got a plan, so we could thwart for just way too much. But while we are down here, I think we're gonna use a battery pack. I think we're gonna toss a I've got a plan. I don't think we're gonna need that to play Ingenuity. Ingenuity is our resource generator, so it's nice to get that out on the table. Then we will flip up to Rocket. We'll use Ingenuity for Clear the Area to take care of this side scheme, which will deal us an encounter card, but Skilled Investigator will trigger, Clear the Area will trigger, so we get 2 cards. There's another pistol. So we are set up to murder you at this point because we have 3 damage left, and pistols can deal 2 and 2, so we can draw another card from Murdered You. I really don't I am hesitant on pulling out another side scheme at this point because I think the other side scheme we may have a hard time in clearing. No, you know what? This is what the deck is for. Let's have some fun. Let's pull out a side scheme. We also need to count. We got 1, 2. We'll shuffle this, but 2, 3. We have 3 side schemes left. Tribute could be good, but we'll get another encounter card, which is a little scary. This comes in with 4 threat, which is we can take care of 4 threat. Let's do that. So that's going to come in with 2, and then 1 additional for each goblin in play. So we have green goblin and goblin soldier. So let's go ahead and shuffle that up. Yeah. And we get to draw 3 cards. Oh, there's the particle cannon. Let's go. There's Groot. That's nice. 2. And 3 is under surveillance. Alrighty. Okay. So our restricted slots, I think I'd rather have the particle cannon than pistol because we can only have 2 of the restricted slots. So let's go ahead and just keep that in mind when we are making our decisions that we are kind of locked out. Let's go ahead and thwart for 2 here. And we'll pistol and clear the area for the last 2, which will draw us a card into Gamora. Okay. Let's see if we can get the particle cannon out. And also if we can get Groot out. We cannot get both of them out. We can if we get particle cannon out first. Okay, so let's go or under survey. I'm okay with losing that main. I'd rather get Groot out than under surveillance at this point. Reload and Quake for a particle cannon. That's our second restricted item. Enters play with 2 charges on it. Let's go ahead and actually, no, check this out. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter. Let's use the particle cannon to deal 4 damage here. Overkill on 1. And then since we did deal excess damage, we get to trigger the Murder You ability. And we get to draw a card into a rocket launcher. Yeah. Let's go ahead and... Oh, and when defeated, deal 1 damage to the engaged player. We will take 1 damage. Oops. And we've got these 3, which will drop Groot on the table. After Groot defends against an attack, we get to heal 2 damage from him, so he can be out there for a while. Let's go ahead and have just the pistol just pop 2 on Goblin. Take him down to 13. I'm going to go ahead and thwart 2 here with Bishop. Just to be a little bit safe. Why not? We'll stand up. We have an extra encounter card coming our way. We got Thruster Boots, Cybernetic Skeleton, Endurance. Okay, there's all our health. Drax, and Chance Encounter. Alrighty, okay, so I think we probably want to prioritize the Cybernetic Skeleton and Endurance if we can. Okay, so we're going to add 1 here. Goblin's going to attack us for 2 plus a boost card. Since we have so much health in our kit, and I'm not too scared of adding the extra threat here, I think I'm just going to take this. So it's going to be 2, put Goblin Thrall in play engaged with us. So 2 damage to Rocket, 1, 2. We have to place 1 threat on the main scheme because he attacked us. Boom. Goblin Thrall is going to attack us. We will defend with Groot. He'll take the damage. Groot will heal the damage, and we're good. We get to charge Bishop twice because we had green, and then Goblin Thrall attack us. Okay. Deal out encounter cards. Attach to the enemy with the highest printed hit points without another copy of Goblin Glider attached. If you cannot, this card can surge. We can spend 2 lightning to get rid of that card. And we got a Goblin Soldier. Alrighty. Kind of wish we had that rocket launcher. That could clear out some stuff. Okay. Let's not get too cute here. Let's go Ingenuity for endurance for 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm thinking that we have the ability to draw some extra cards. And so let's I think regardless I want endurance out there. So let's do a particle cannon. Particle cannon here for the Goblin Thrall. So 4 damage. 1 rolls over to Green Goblin because of the overkill. Murdered you triggers. We get to draw into Chance Encounter. And we just decked out, so that's another card. I think we're going to flip down here. Also, we can have Bishop thwart, because Bishop's not going to get multiple activations. So Bishop can thwart and help us take care of threat. Or actually, I mean, Bishop could attack and kill that Goblin Soldier. I don't think I need to do that, really. We can flip down and Tinker. Hey, Talon, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. We can Tinker the particle cannon. Kind of wish I had done that before the reshuffle, but that's fine. Okay. What are we looking at? If we Tinker, we can get Drax out as well. And I think that is... Yeah. Let's go ahead and thwart 2 here. Let's go ahead and Chance Encounter for a Cybernetic Skeleton. It's going to give us 3 hit points, 1, 2, 3, as well as +1 attack. Then we'll go ahead and attack for 2 here. We will pistol for 2. That's going to set us up for a Murdered You next turn. And we will... We're at 7. We're going up to 2. He's scheming for 1, 2. We should be fine. Famous last words, right? We'll flip down. We'll Tinker our cannon. We may Tinker the pistol and hope to reload the cannon. The cannon is really good. Actually, no. Hopefully we'll just draw into a salvage. We can get the cannon back. So we'll Tinker that. We'll draw 1 Flora and Fauna and a one way or another. Flora and Fauna is really good. Let's go ahead and toss these 3 for Drax. Play only if your identity has the Guardian trait. So we actually cannot do that. We don't have the Guardian trait now. Okay, so in that sense, we will not do that. We will toss a one way or another for Thruster Boots and go ahead and give us that +1 thwart. Hard. It's sometimes hard to make good choices. We can hang on to Flora and Fauna. We can hang on to Drax. We may toss Drax. We may hang on to Flora and Fauna, though, since we are going to be rolling up. We can go ahead and just get multiple activations out of, hopefully, something other than the pistol. But we've got that. And here we are. Okay, so we'll stand up. Can't believe I missed that. Oops. Oh, well. It'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. We're going to add 1 here. Goblin's going to scheme for 1. Actually, let me draw my hand first. We got Flora. We got Reload. Strength. Good. Clear the area. Making an entrance. And think fast. 2, 4, 6. So 1 plus put Goblin Soldier into play engaged with you. So 3 total. So we're up to 5. We got 2 encounter cards. We got Goblin Thrall. Sweet. Good. And we've got Exhaustion. Surge and exhaust your identity. So Surge from Death from a Green Goblin schemes with +X attack, where X is equal to the villain's stage number. Regardless, we are going to be pushed. Hey, there goes Shadows. So he schemed for 4 total. So that's enough to push us to the next stage. Player order. Each player not engaged with the Goblin Minion must discard 3 cards from the encounter deck and put the first Goblin Minion they discarded into play engaged with them. Good thing we're engaged with 3 Goblin Minions. We advance to the next stage. X is equal to the number of Goblin enemies in play. Yikes. And it comes in with 4. So we got to get rid of some of these goblin enemies now. But now we lose at 11, which is a lot easier to stomach. Bishop thwarted last time. I never dealt a damage to him. Okay. So we have the ability to tinker at this point if we want to. And I think we may want to do that. I'm thinking that we tinker the thruster boots. The +1 attack is not super necessary. Or +1 thwart is not super necessary. So let's go ahead and tinker the thruster boots. We'll draw 2 cards. We got a one way or another dangerous and a Professor X. Well, the one way or another Professor X combo is pretty nice. Got to clear the area. I think we will go ahead and one way or another this turn. Okay, whatever. Let's flip up to Rocket. We'll go ahead and Rocket's pistol. Okay, let me hold on. I have to think about this. We'll Rocket's pistol. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take out this Goblin Soldier. We take a damage because of his Wind Defeated ability. That is a excess damage, so we get to draw a card into Schadenfreude. We're at 11 out of, what do we have, 15 health? Yeah, I think we're fine. We don't need to play that. What's the worst thing that could happen if we one way or another, right? Let's one way or another. I should remember what's in here, but I just do not. I know we have at least 2 more. When defeated, face down encounter card, or overrun. Each goblin minion discarded. Let's go with a tribute, because I would rather... I don't know, actually. Yeah, let's go with the tribute. That's going to be 2 threat. We have a clear the area, so we can easily take care of that, as well as trigger our skilled investigator. We'll take 1 face down encounter card, but I think I'd rather do that than probably get another minion at this point. So, ingenuity for a clear the area. We'll clear 2 here. When defeated, deal the engage or the defeat encounter card. Clear the area triggers. There's salvage. Skilled investigator triggers. There's reload. Salvage is the topmost, right? No, put a tech upgrade. Sweet. Did I ever draw? I don't think I ever drew. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, I never drew for the one way or another. I didn't, right? Did I? I really don't think I did. What did I do? I played one way or another. We had 6. We should have 6. We murdered you for 8. One way or another would be 11. Skilled investigator, clear the area. Clear the area is a card. Yeah, I never drew. Okay, so under surveillance 1, energy 2, and Gamora is 3. Okay. Let's use a salvage to play under surveillance. We're going to go ahead and take our particle cannon and put that on top of our deck. Yeah. No. No, it should be fine. We should be good. Let's do this. Let's go. Do we have 2 reloads? We do. Let's use a reload for a Flora and Fauna. Yeah. Flora and Fauna. Place 2 charge counters on our rocket upgrade and ready that upgrade. We'll go ahead and deal 2 damage. No, we'll attack with Groot first. Groot will take 2 damage. We'll deal 2 damage to the Thrall. Then we will Rocket's Pistol the Thrall, which will draw us into our particle cannon. Let's go. There's so many options. That's what I like about Rocket, is he just provides so many options. Let's go ahead and just energy to get rid of this. I don't want the +1 attack the rest of the game. Making an entrance can go. We got a strength, so let's do making an entrance and strength. to play our particle cannon. Comes in with 2 charges. We have a Professor X to confuse or Gamora. We could actually just hang on to Gamora. We could drop Professor X. Or we could hang on to Professor X. What I'm thinking and what I'm looking at is if I can get Gamora out, we can actually overkill the soldier. Gamora is gonna get us a card. Yeah, we're gonna get Gamora out and hopefully be able to maybe play Professor X. I don't know. Okay, so these 3 cards, let's toss for Gamora. We do have the Guardian trait. After Gamora attacks or thwarts, discard cards from the top of your deck until an event is discarded and add that event to your hand. So we'll go 2 here. Gamora will take 1 consequential. Discard till we get an event. There it is. Then we will particle cannon and overkill this soldier. We deal 1 damage to us. And he had 2. We dealt 4, so 1 damage rolls to Goblin. Down to 11. Murder you triggers. We get to draw a card into I've Got a Plan. Yeah, my math didn't work out there, did it? I would have had to draw on a double. It's open to... Here we are. Here we are. We do have 1 more side scheme in that deck. So we could hang on to the one way or another. I think we're kind of in a position where we don't need to necessarily do that. We're sitting at 11 health on stage 1 of the villain. Rocket is getting fairly built out. We no longer have this +1 board, by the way, because we tinkered that away. Teach that a lesson. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this garbage. We did one way or another this turn. It's been a long turn. I was like, we could one way or another, and then we could probably get Professor X out to take care of that scheme. Well, I think we've already one way or another this turn. Yeah, because that was like the first thing that we did. So let's keep it like that. So we'll stand up. Let's discard. I think I want to keep Professor X. Might as well keep one way or another. And then we'll toss I've Got a Plan. Since we do have Professor X in our hand, we have a lot of threat already. Drop to 5. Making an entrance is nice. Think fast. And Quake. So 2, 4, 5. This goes up by 1. It's per goblin. We have 1 goblin. Green Goblin is going to attack us for 2 plus a boost card. Let's have group block this. We're at 10 health. I guess we don't need... Yeah, let's have group block this. 2. This card gets +1 if at least 1 goblin minion is engaged with you. It is not, so it's a 3 total attack. So we will place 3, and then we get to heal 2. So we're down... Because we're still alive, we get to heal 2. We're down to 3. We got 2 cards. First one is an assault already. Goblin's attacking us. We're just going to take this one. So it's going to be 2 plus 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we triggered this, his forced response, where we have to add a threat to the main. Then we've got Corvus Glaive, Retaliate 1, and Toughness. Gross. Okay. I'm surprised Rocket's pistol doesn't have ranged. Okay, cool. Let's do... Let's do one way or another. This is our last one, I believe. Let's just make sure that there are no more side schemes in the deck. I think this is... We've tapped out our one way or another. Yep. So overrun. When defeated, oh yeah, we're gonna get more. Oh, that's actually fine. This is when I would like to get goblins because I have the particle cannon. I can overkill. I can draw more cards from Murdered You. We're good. This is gonna come in with 1 threat per player. That's not the right one. And we get to draw cards. Let's remember to do that this time. We got Arrows 1, battery pack, nice, and another battery pack, sweet. Okay, that's really cool. After a side scheme is defeated. So I think we are going to... Let's have Gamora go ahead and thwart this. So we'll discard until we get an event. I got a plan already. In player order, each player must discard the top 2 cards in the encounter deck and place any goblin minion engaged with them. Okay, so no goblin minions for us. But we do get to trigger Skilled Investigator to draw into Salvage. Okay. Not bad. Huh. Okay. So Salvages can get us a tech card back, which may be our Thruster Boots. Actually, that may be the only tech card we have. Yeah, it is. So we can get Thruster Boots back on top of our deck, and then we can draw it when we do inevitably do a Murdered You turn over here. Okay. Let's go ahead and have Bishop attack. Or and he got another charge counter. I'm pretty sure he has a ton, but we'll have him attack for 6 on Green Goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, taking him down to 5. Then that's going to be enough to knock Bishop out, but it opens up an ally slot for us. I think the ally slot is going to be Professor X. So let's go Salvage and Arrows for Professor X. When Professor X enters... Actually, hold on. No, let's keep Arrows. Let's get rid of Think Fast, because we're going to do the same thing here. So Arrows will confuse Green Goblin. We're not going to push Green Goblin this turn just because I'm not set up to handle the extra encounter cards, I don't think. We'll go and thwart for 3. When we use Salvage, we'll put the Thruster Boots back on top. We'll Pistol here to knock the Tough off. We will take a damage because it does not have ranged. We are looking pretty low on health, which is 5. I'm making an entrance. It's probably fine. What's the worst that could happen, right? We'll deal 2 damage here, which will deal 1 damage to me. We still have Ingenuity as well. Jeez. We'll Particle Cannon this thing. So it's going to get Overkill and range. So 2 is going to roll to Goblin. Does trigger a Murdered You ability, which draws us a card into Thruster Boots. We knew that. So let's go ahead and Ingenuity the Thruster Boots. Get that onto the table. Arrows for a battery pack. I've got a plan for a battery pack. I probably should have played I've got a plan. But again, here we are. It's Monday morning. We're blundering. It's fine. That's what we do Mondays, right? Battery pack comes in with 2 charges, and we can use the charges to move counters. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to move 2 counters over to the Particle Cannon, just because the Particle Cannon is so good. We're going to toss both of these. We have Quake. We could keep Quake. We'll keep Quake around just because Professor X is going to leave. So I think we are good. We're going to stand up. We'll roll down to Alter Ego next turn because Goblin's confused, we can tinker some of these battery packs and everything. But this turn, we have a blocker and Professor X, so might as well stay up. Hey, there's a rocket launcher. Clear the area. Rocket's Pistol. And Genius. Last card, gonna deck us out. But now that we have a full deck, we are feeling a little bit more comfortable in pushing Green Goblin. Because when Green Goblin gets pushed to stage 2, we deal out 2 encounter cards per player. And so we need to not take 4 encounter cards in a turn, because that can be very, very bad. Okay. We're going to place one here. Green Goblin's going to attack us. We're going to block with Professor X. We got 2. Give the enemy 1 additional boost card. And there goes an advance, which is really good to see. And just enough to take out Professor X. I'm going to deal out encounter cards. Our first one being Proxima Midnight. Proxima Midnight's attack gains piercing. Overconfidence. Green Goblin attacks you. If at least 3 damage was dealt by this activation, this card gains Surge. We're going to block with Gamora. Or do we block with Groot? We may block with Groot. Because Gamora gets us a card. We'll block with Groot. So 2 plus 0. Oh, Groot survives and heals. 3 damage was not dealt. So we get to... Wow. That was nice. Sweet. Now we got Proxima Midnight here. Gains piercing. So we have to get rid of that. But we've got a couple of ways to do so. I think I may want to use my basic activation to heal here. Or maybe actually thwart. We do, yeah, we have a clear the area. So. Let's use Battery Pack to move a charge over to Rocket's Pistol. We'll use Battery Pack to move a charge to Particle Cannon. We'll use Rocket's Pistol to go ahead and deal 2 damage to Proxima Midnight. We've got the Particle Cannon, which will deal 4 damage. So 1 rolls over to Green Goblin because of that overkill. Did Green Goblin heal? No. For some reason I thought... Okay. So Proxima Midnight dies. Murdered You triggers. We get to draw into a reload. Ooh. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Okay. We've got... We'll thwart for 3. Ingenuity will clear the area for the last one. She'll draw us a card into Chance Encounter. Green Goblin is at 2 health. So I think this is probably... I think we're okay pushing here. I'm not too concerned with... Yeah, I think we're going to push. Let's go ahead and... I would like to push with an attack, because then that triggers Murdered You. So let's go Chance Encounter for a reload. So ready each tech upgrade we control. We will Particle Cannon here for enough damage to kill and deal excess damage. Green Goblin 2 comes in. When revealed, deal each character 2 encounter cards. That's so brutal. It's so brutal. And after he attacks and damages you, place 1 threat on the main scheme. We did Murder You, so we get to draw a card into one way or another, which is a dud. We do not want to be using that. And he comes in with 18 health. Let's pump that back up. We do have a lot of targets for Tinkers with these battery packs, and so I'm going to use one way or another to play a Rocket's Pistol on top of a Rocket's Pistol. We'll discard this, but just so we get some fresh charges. We probably should have done that earlier, but here we are. We'll deal 2 damage to Goblin. 1, 2. Gamora will deal 2. 1, 2. And discard cards until we get an event. There goes Drax, one way or another. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's go. Let's go Genius in a one way or another to play a rocket launcher on top of a Rocket's Pistol. I guess we'll use the rocket launcher, deal 2 damage to the villain and each minion. There are no minions, but here we are. We will flip down to Alter Ego. We're going to tinker one of these battery packs. So we get to Discard it and draw 2 cards, making an entrance and a salvage. We will use salvage to play Quake. We get to place a tech card on top of our deck, which I think is just going to be a Rocket's Pistol. Actually, maybe a battery pack. Battery pack is pretty good, because then we can just load up on the particle cannons. Let's do that. Do a battery pack. Battery pack's faster than a pistol because we deal 4 instead of 2 per charge. That's there. Quake comes in. Quake is going to deal 2 damage to Green Goblin. 1, 2. She'll take a damage. We're going to toss making an entrance. Who needs healing? We'll stand up. Okay, so we have 10 damage, which is actually going to be not too hard to deal, I don't think. We get 6 cards. We have on the table 2, 4, 6, 10. We have lethal on the table. And so if we can survive this encounter phase, we're good. We got to reload in a battery pack, so we should be fine. If we survive, right? So we got 1. Green Goblin is confused. We'll deal out encounter cards. So we got, this is where it gets Surge, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Here we go. Gang up. This gains Surge. Goblin Knight. Okay. We got Goblin Thrall, which is a guard. We still have lethal, so that's fine. Hysteria attached to Green Goblin. When Green Goblin schemes or attack, give him 1 additional boost card for that activation. And then we've got a Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support we control. That's going to be Skilled Investigator. That's going to be game for us because we are ready to throw some damage. But let's have some fun with it first. Okay, so it is our turn. We do have guard in here, so we do have to be cognizant of that. Let's tinker this battery pack. Draw 2. We got clear the area and a strength. We may have too many resources in this deck. If I was going to rebuild this deck, I may look at either finding a sink, because there's been a couple of times where we've just had a significant amount of doubles and not a lot of ways to efficiently spin them. And so I may want to bring the cost curve up just a little bit with all the card draws and the money that we have. Okay, we'll flip up to Rocket. We will go ahead and Rocket Launcher to deal 2 damage to each one of these. This is not an attack, so it gets around guard. Got 2 there. We'll Particle Cannon to go 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. That does trigger. I think I actually may have missed a Goblin Minion again that dealt the damage. But that triggers Murdered You. Hey, we got Flora and Fauna. Yeah, that seems like a fun way to do that. Let's clear the area for Flora and Fauna. We'll place 2 on Particle Cannon, ready Particle Cannon. We'll use Particle Cannon to. I'm just being silly at this point. Like we have lethal. I just want to have fun. Let's have Quake deal 2 here. It's more fun. We'll Particle Cannon here, so 3 health left, so 1 damage roll, so over to Green Goblin. We get to draw a card, which is a one way or another. I mean, like, look, this is insane. His burst damage is just insane. So I guess we can reload. And then we got 4 for Goblin. We also have 2 for Goblin here. We got 2 for Goblin here. We got a battery pack, so we could have reloaded the rocket launcher. He can throw so much damage so quickly. It's really impressive. But there you go. That's gonna be game for Goblin. GG's on Goblin. Alrighty, so we got one more aspect left to play with Rocket, and that is protection. I'm really excited to play the protection build because it is going to be a repurpose build, and it just kind of like leans into his tech. We have a lot of tech in protection. It's kind of become the tech aspect. So we're going to have more targets to target with Tinker. We're going to be able to offset, or we're going to maintain the board state. We're going to be using his thwart to do that. He can get aerial. We're going to be able, I'm pumped. It's going to be a good one, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the Be Right Back screen. We're going to get ready for, I'm going to clean up a little bit, and I'll be back, and we're going to have some fun with repurpose. See you soon.